Welcome everybody to another edition of the journey to becoming a head football coach in California. As always, my name is Coach Freeman. Thank you all for the support. It's been overwhelming how many people I've seen that have been kind of jumping on, and a couple questions I've been getting and some things like that. I really truly do appreciate the love and respect that I've been getting. So thank you very much. Again, I'm going to continue to try and do these once a week. I think on Thursday I'm going to post my first scheme one. It's going to be a special teams one on our swinging gate version that we run, and it's something that I got the formation idea, and then I kind of tweaked it and adjusted it, and it's a nice little fun thing to look at. I'm a big fan of special teams and just being able to play games with it. You'll notice right here from the title, this was called "Got the Job." This is like from day one when I took over, the things that went through my head and the things that I started trying to like focus on and trying to figure out. And, maybe for those of you that are looking into it, or maybe you just got a job, you're like, oh man, I didn't think about that, or I was kind of forgetting about this, or how did he do that? So again, just kind of giving you my journey as far as what it looks like and how it goes. And then I'll kind of show you what I did the first couple of weeks, and then I'll get into some season and some staffing and some things like that as well, and then kind of give you an overview of the season and how things went. And then I'll talk about what we've been doing now with COVID. So you can see kind of the progression when my mindset and things that I need to do better and things I need to tweak, and then just kind of the overall process, in my opinion, of how I'm going through it as a first year, second year head football coach. So these are the things that immediately, as soon as I got the job, as soon as it popped into my head, I was looking at, okay, I need to schedule meetings with players and parents. I need to do inventory. I need to get my staff settled, and I need to get my schedule taken care of. Like those four things popped in my head as soon as I got the phone call saying that they wanted me to take over and be the head football coach. Those four things were like, okay, I need to be with the players. That's easy. I'm on campus. I'm on staff. It should be easy. I got to set up parent meetings, and then I got to figure out what I got and what I don't have and what I need to order now. Because getting hired in February, March, you're sitting back and you're like, oh man, I got to get things done. And then staff, you say you got some staff, you got some people in mind, but then, okay, now you got to lock people in. You got to call former staff members that you want to keep on, as long as you got their numbers, and you want to hit them up and see if they want to be a part of your program and talk to them. Then you got to try and recruit some more people if you need that. And then schedule. I mean, you got to schedule out spring ball, fundraiser, summer ball, in season, out of season, your weight training. If you got to book facilities, you got to get all that stuff together. Your banquets, you got to make sure you have all that stuff already taken care of. Because like the banquet one, that kind of hit me in the middle of summer, and then we were like, oh, we got to fill out this form, that form. And I was like, oh man, I got to fill out forms to set up a banquet. All right, here we go. So kind of some crazy ideas as far as that goes. But those are the first four things that popped in my head. I'm gonna go through each one of those individually. And this one's not gonna be as long. I'm sorry, the interview one was like an hour, but this one will be a little bit shorter. But in any case, so the first one we're gonna go over is meetings. The player meeting I had, set expectations. Tell the players who you are, give them a background. Some of the kids knew me because I was on the JV staff the year prior. Some of the kids already knew me. They knew what I was about. They knew my mentality. But some of the juniors to be seniors only kind of saw me here and there and kind of helped. I really didn't coach a position on the varsity my first year here. So setting expectations, letting them know things are going to be different, especially in the year prior. The big key here was culture and accountability. There was not a lot of accountability. Kind of players just kind of showed up and left when they want. Now at the same time, again, that was a dangerous game because they had such low numbers the year before. I wanted to make sure we had high numbers. So I did flex the rules a little bit here and there to try and make sure I had enough players so that way I could build excitement and show, hey, look, we grew, and try to do it in a manner to where I didn't do it at the expense of the program. We had quality players, but at the same time, we were boosting those numbers to show that, hey, you know what? It's a new time. It's a new culture. Here we go. Reveal your plan. Because here's the thing. When it comes to players, what do they want to know? What kind of offense you're going to run? What kind of defense you're going to run? How much playing time am I going to get? Am I going to get recruited? Blah, blah, all those things that every player thinks about that really only like 4 or 5 players should be thinking about when it comes to getting recruited. So went through all that, told him, hey, you know what, we're gonna run the fly. That's what we're gonna do. When I brought on my offensive coordinator, who also worked on staff here at the school, he wanted to run the offense and he wanted to run the fly. And I was down with it. I was like, yeah, let's do something new. Let's do something that hasn't been around here in a while. Let's go and run the fly. There is a school a neighboring smaller school. You guys might have heard of East Nick. That's really good. Won lots of section titles and all that good stuff. I mean, they run the fly ridiculously well. So we're like, hey, let's run the fly. And just so happened, and the guy we brought on staff was their offensive line coach. So we ended up bringing him over. So it worked out really well. We had offensive coordinator that believed in the system. We had no line coach that could take care of it. So we're like, all right, we're all buying in. Let's go. We're running the fly. We're gonna have some guys that run the fly. We're gonna run this. We're gonna run this hard, and we're gonna get after it. The kids were excited because we're like, yeah, we're gonna put the ball in playmakers' hands. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna get after it. We're gonna get excited. And then I revealed to them at that same time who the staff was at the varsity level. At that time, there was only four of us. Fifth guy we never got on, so there was only four of us. It was kind of tight knit. It was a small varsity group. The JV staff ended up with six. It was pretty much the exact same JV staff from the year prior. Added one guy primarily, so they were able to add a running backs coach who's no longer with us this year just due to some work schedule stuff. But so we had a total of 10 guys that came out for the staff, and then I hired two guys to run my freshman program. One was an alumni, and one was a guy who came on late. I actually didn't know I was going to have a freshman coach. I thought I was going to be the freshman coach until like late July, early August, and then all of a sudden, boom, he's like, hey, I got some time freed up, let's go. And he was the JV head coach my first year here. So it worked out really well. So they were excited. They were excited in the change of staff. They were excited to see guys that weren't just in the Marysville area. They were out of the Marysville area. We had some guys that lived in Marysville, so it was nice. They liked the diversity. They liked the feel of it. So they got really excited. And then the parent meeting, I had to have two. The first one I had, not a lot of parents showed up, and that's kind of the thing you're going to run into depending on your location, depending on what's going on, and what kind of community you have. The community is, the school itself is socioeconomic disadvantage, so a lot of homes where both parents are working, or separated families, or group homes, or things of that nature. So it's very difficult for parents to make a 5:30, 6:30 meeting. And not only that, some of my coaches, because there are a lot of them are parents at the JV level, they don't get off work till 4:30, 5 o'clock. So the parent meeting for me has to be like 5:36. And maybe I get 20, 30 parents throughout the entire program. So it's one of those things. I always set up a PowerPoint presentation in the gym, put up my contact info. Like the first thing I do is say, okay, in these 5 minutes, I want you to email me. I want you to sign up for this communication app and this communication app. That was the first thing I did. So in that way, it wasn't just me blabbing on. It was boom. You want communication? You want to be able to get a hold of me? Here's the info. Send me an email. Get on this communication app, and let's go. So in that way, there's a two-way communication street already going before you even leave within the first 5 minutes. So like I told them, I was always big on communication. Parents are big on communication. They want to know when they got to pick up and drop off their student. They want to know when the season starts, when it ends, when's the banquet. Some of them might have multiple kids either at that school or at different schools. So they gotta delegate and figure out timing and carpooling and figure all that stuff out. So they need to know exactly what you're doing, exactly what times. That goes down communication and the schedule, piecing everything together. And then also introducing their staff, so that way they know A, who you are, B, who you bringing on, who's going to be coaching their kid, who's going to be coaching their student, who's going to be teaching their student, who's going to be role modeling for their student, who are these people. So you want to introduce them. If they can be there, that's great. If not, just have a little something that you can say about them. And then fundraising responsibilities, it's the necessary evil of every high school sport. What are we doing for fundraising? How are we raising money? So for us, we do a couple different fundraisers. I'll do another little piece on fundraisers, the different types, the online ones, the product ones, and things of that nature, and just kind of give you a lowdown of how they work and what ones we enjoy and what ones we like. And that way you kind of get a good feel for that. But making sure you understand how much money they need to raise, or how much money you want to raise, what you're buying with that money, being as transparent as possible. For the last 2 years, our equipment is in really, really bad condition. Helmets were bad when I took over. Shoulder pads are piss poor. Blocking equipment was piss poor. The nicest thing I think we had is our 5 and 2 man sled. That was probably the nicest equipment we had. Oh, we had some donuts or tackle wheels. Probably the nicest equipment we had. So we need to get some new shields. We need to get new helmets, new shoulder pads, new girdles. It's a mess. It was a mess, to be quite honest. And it's getting better. But, it's kind of funny because this year I said the same things. Like, no, we need to get our helmets. We need to get this. We need to get that. They're like, well, didn't we do that last year? I go, yeah, but you guys don't understand. I need 80, 90, 100 helmets, and we only got rid of 30 of the bad ones. So we got to keep building this thing up to get the safety going. Like, what do you mean bad helmets? Well, they're just old. They're getting old. So we need to get new, better helmets. And on average, 5 to 7 of them are going to come back where they're not going to be in shape. So you got to replace those 5 to 7 plus add to what you already don't have. So that's just one of those things. So they asked us, same with shoulder pads. Like, what do you mean the shoulder pads are bad? I was like, well, straps are starting to fray. Some of the protective stuff starting to wear and tear. I mean, it's still safe, but it's not to the quality that I want for our program. And that's where they started understanding, okay, he wants the best quality. He wants high quality for our kids. He wants to take care of our students. I mean, this is awesome. So, and that's kind of the big push. Like, yeah, no, I want them to have, I want to have like 50 footballs. I want to have all these different blocking bags and tackle wheels and all that stuff because that makes the practice experience fun when they get to hit all these different kinds of bags and equipment, jump over hoops, cones, balls, whatever you got. But plus, they got to have the safety equipment so when they're playing Friday nights and practicing throughout the week. Those extra hits they're taking on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, the main days you're installing, and they might be doing an inside run period or 7-on-7 on period. You want to make sure they're fully protected and they're not wearing a helmet that's 10, 12 years old, even though it keeps getting cleared and it's reconditioned as safe. We all know a 10-year-old helmet is not as good as a 2 or 3-year-old helmet just by wear and tear alone, even if they are certifying that it is. So that's where we're trying to go. We're trying to make sure we have everything that's taken care of on that front. So they want to understand that, plus snack bar stuff. So make sure if you know who your team mom is, maybe she's there and she can talk a little bit about snack bar scheduling and how that's going to work. And again, we're tweaking some things obviously with COVID because most likely we're not going to have fans in the stands right out the gate. So probably doing a lot of live streaming service, which we're trying something new, which I'll go over on another piece. But we're doing I'll dab it in here. We're doing picks a lot through NFHS. Never done it before. A couple of our schools are doing it. They do a subscription base. I'll do a review on it when we get it set up. It's supposed to be here any day now, and it's supposed to be installed. So I might try to use it for a scrimmage and do stuff like that and see how it works. And then I can give you an honest review on if I like it or not, and then if you should do it. So inventory. So this one, this one takes forever. I mean, you got anything and everything: helmets, shoulder pads, girdles, and this is just stuff that I'm remembering off the top of my head. Helmets, shoulder pads, girdles, practice pants, game pants, jerseys, practice jerseys, game jerseys, knee pads, belts, headsets, and cameras. Our headsets and our end zone camera was stolen the year I came on, or disappeared, or in any case, it evaporated. So I had to do some research and get some new headsets. Got some Portaphone wireless headsets, and then got an U.S. Sports Video end zone camera. The end zone camera works out fantastic. Love it. Really easy to download. And then the Portaphone headsets worked really well until we got to center. Center, for whatever reason, when we played them, I guess it was just too far. It was very crackly, so I'm trying to work out with Portaphone like what happened there. As far as like they just weren't, we couldn't hear as well on those ones. I don't know if it was distance or what, or because of the wind. I don't know, but working on that. And then chin straps, decals, face masks, repair kits for your helmets, cleats. If you're able to provide cleats for kids, or like some of our students donate their cleats when they graduate as a senior because they know they're not going to play. So we end up with a little cabinet full of cleats. Tape, i.e. medical equipment, so all your tape, all your bandages, scissors, you name it, braces, whatever that is. Coaches gear, do you have an inventory for coaches gear? Jackets, hats, pants, whatever, polos. And then office supplies. I mean, we all know we need those whiteboard markers, at our disposal, so that way we can start drawing things up on the whiteboard or wherever. So, like that whiteboard behind me, started to draw stuff up. So, I mean, you got to have that stuff ready and supplied. So you got to make sure you have that. So I always create a little Excel spreadsheet, label everything out, and then I kind of put it in new, used, or replace condition, and just put put numbers or X's on it. So that way I know, okay, I got this many helmets, this many chin straps, and these are in new condition. New condition I consider 1 to 3 years for the most part. Used condition anywhere between 3 to 5 years, and anything after that I kind of consider it, probably needs to be replaced as far as like, cleats, face masks, repair kits, all that stuff. Same thing with everything else. And then coaches gear, I mean, we change our logos all the time. I mean, the Indian headdress you see, or the Native American headdress you see on my hat right now, we're going to change that. We're doing an arrowhead next year. We got the double tomahawks on this side over here. You see something. We changed the logo. Try to have some fun with it, freshen it up. And last year, my first year was all about the double tomahawks, so we did that my first year. And then we had the Native Americans on our coaches gear hat, and now we're kind of switching it up, and we're going to do an Arrowhead instead. So again, just changing things up, making it more fun, making it more interesting, things like that. But yeah, that's all the stuff that you either got to fundraise for, or you got to let the school know that they got to help you out and pay for and fundraise and let everybody know what you're doing. And then lastly, like I said, schedule, set it up, start drawing it out, writing it out. Do you need to find teams, or does the AD do it for you? And that's primarily like your non-league. For the most part, my AD my first year took care of it for me. Luckily, we're still in 2-year contracts, so my non-league was pretty much set for me. The only thing I had to look at was spring ball, and normally, I guess what used to happen here is like they wouldn't practice. They would wait to practice like the last 2 weeks of May. So why are we doing that? We got kids that are waiting around. Let's go ahead and start, the first Monday we can in May, because we're allowed to practice the whole month of May. So let's just go ahead and get after it. They're like, what about the kids in baseball and blah, blah? I was like, well, it's the same thing. If they're in playoffs or whatnot, they're not going to come out till they're done. So it's the same thing. Why not condition all the guys that are ready to go, and then let baseball and track and all those guys jump on when they're done? So that's why we did it. And then same thing with summer ball. We gave them the finals week off because the way the CIF scheduling kind of works, you can do spring ball from May 1st to May 31st, and you can start summer ball from June 1st to July 4th or whatever it is. So we gave them that first week of June off because that's usually finals week. So we wanted them focused on finals and on their grades. So we usually gave them that week off, and then we'd go the next 3 weeks. And then right before we go before that Wednesday or whatever that day is before July 4th, and then send them on their way. And then we don't see until the last week of July. And then we start with our in-season, and that's that acclimation period. 2 days in helmets, 3 days in helmets and shoulder pads, and then 10 days in full gear before they hit another opponent. And that was apparently, that one the kids still kind of have a hard time understanding. Why do I have to do this? So I was like, well, it's 15 days, really. Because you got the 5 days and 2 days in helmets, 3 days in shoulder pads. So just explaining all that sometimes kind of confuses them. Then out of season, your banquets, what's your training schedule look like? Is there time in the weight room? What are you doing? All that good stuff. And then setting up your fundraisers for the following spring. So, we do a Popcornopolis sale. Really fun. Really like it. Everyone loves the popcorn, so we always do that sale. I did it my first year. I did it in April or May. This year we did it in February. Now, of course, due to COVID, we had to stretch it out a little bit. Normally, you're only supposed to do it for 4 weeks, but I stretched it out just because I had to, because it was COVID hit, so we got to be able to make sure we're able to sell in some way, shape, or form. So, stretched it out a little bit, and then we did apparel stores through BSN and Nike, our rep, and then we did we do a Snap fundraiser. And now those I'm telling you right now, if you do Snap, there's Snap and there's Vertical, and then there's one through the CIF. It's I'm not even gonna try and say it because I don't know what it is. I don't know the name of it, but they do basically the same thing. They do an online platform. You set up emails, text messages, all that stuff. You shoot that out in 3 to 4 weeks, and then you get an 80% check. So you make 10 grand, you make 8 grand. That's pretty much the way it goes. There is one place that takes 3%, but you have to do all the work. You have to set everything up. You have to do everything. You have to make your videos. You have to promote everything. They don't do anything for you. So that's how they're able to take only 3% of your money that you make. And no offense as a head coach, especially first year, now second year, I'm okay with giving up that 20% because I want them to do as much work as they can on the back end while I'm worrying about coaching and taking care of business with my kids and making sure they got their grades up. So I'm totally okay with that and fine with that. So again, those are the fundraisers we do. And then of course you have Snack Bar. This year, of course, we're trying to tweak that with Pixelot, make some money off the subscriptions of our games. Sponsorship banners, put them in your stadium. With the Pixelot system, you can do the watermarks and whatnot. So we're working on that. So again, a lot of fun things you can do, but make sure you get your schedule set up, and then make sure you post it everywhere. Post it on, your email, your Google Classrooms with your teams, if you can post it on social media, post it on social media so your parents can see it. Put it on your band app, your Remind app, your Twitter feed, whatever you use to get to your parents. Put it everywhere. Post it on your football website if you got one. We have one. We post the schedule up. So, put it anywhere and everywhere you can. So that way when a parent says, oh, I didn't see that, I go, well, you don't have this, 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 or this. And they say no, then I go, well, there's not much more I can do to help you because you're not on any of our platforms and everything's out there for free to see. And so, you just got to do a little bit of looking at that point. So, again, just make sure it's all out there so that way parents don't say you're hiding things or that, well, I never knew the schedule, you never posted this, you never posted that. Always have all that stuff out there. So, tried to make this a little bit of a shorter video because that last one went really, really long. But, and like I said, I got the job. This was day one. This is what went through my mind. Day one, when I got the job and I got that phone call, I started planning all this stuff out. And then in the oncoming weeks, got the inventory done, got all that stuff done. So this is how I labeled it out and got the schedule out, got the parent meetings out, got the player meetings done and taken care of. So that's how everything went through my head. So again, thank you guys. The support's been amazing. Again, hit that subscribe button. Leave comments if there's something you particularly want me to cover. Even if it's scheme. I mean, I know right now I'm going over the journey of being a head football coach. Just because, again, like I said, I just don't feel like it's been that covered in detail. I found a couple little videos on it, just kind of see what anybody else went through. But at the same time, I haven't seen something as detailed as what I'm giving you right here. So again, hit me up in the comments if there's something you want me to go over. If you got a question about how I handled something, or if there's something scheme wise. Again, I was a part of like a man style scheme where we ran, gap down backer, power, down schemes, go schemes, stretch, coaching the inside and outside zone, fly, spread, double tight, two back power. I mean, you name it. I mean, I've either played in it or I've coached in it to some way, shape, or form. Veer, all that stuff. I mean, the only one, I'll be brutally honest, I'm not that familiar with because I've never had to coach it or been a part of it, is the wing tee. Which is funny because I know everyone, a lot of them, there's always stuff out there on the wing tee. A lot of teams like to run the wing tee, but I've just never been a part of it, and I've never had to coach it. So as far as our actual offense, I've coached it, scouting it, and I've coached against it, but never actually had to teach the rules and the schemes behind the wing tee as far as studying it, things like that. So again, leave a comment below, leave a like, share it if you learned something. Again, that's all I ask is, like, if you learned something, share it. And thank you for your support and your time. And like I said, I'm going to post up a special teams one on Thursday, so that one's going to be a fun one. I'm going to use this little whiteboard behind me. So thank you all so very much. I hope you have a great day, and hope you have a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, all that good stuff. Thank you so very much.